Signal Chasers.
Hello, Internet, and welcome back to Signal Chasers. So you may notice I'm in space, but I was kind of already in space. It looks a little like I'm on the moon. What with this, gray rock. But I'm not on the moon. Also, gravity is not, because I'm using the mag boots, so let's stop doing that, because that's a little rough. So I found an asteroid. Or, more accurately, I found a small chunk of an asteroid next to an even bigger asteroid. And even more accurately, forget which one it was. Where's the moon? Ah, there's the moon. I think that asteroid? So I found that first. That was the one at the end of last episode that I was tracking towards. And when I got there, I made a little discovery. Oh. That's what I was afraid of. Someone's already here. So yeah, we do now have verifiable proof there are other people here. Luckily, I don't think there was anyone actually aboard that miner, but I decided it's probably not the best idea. Where's my asteroid? There it is. Figured it's probably not the best idea to try and hide there. Now I did, I made a little plea to anyone who may have found me in the interim, because it's again been roughly a week, I think, since the last recording. Essentially, I said, please don't blow me up. You can read the text presumably, but I was offering my GPS of the Platinum, which I have renamed Moonplat, just in case I make more GPSs elsewhere. It looks like no one's found me, or if they have, they, one, didn't blow me up, which is appreciated, and two, didn't care about Platinum on the moon. So, won't have to do that, and I don't know, I may try and do something similar next time I stop. But I think my first order of business is I need to get probably back out of this little cavern I've tucked myself in. Which I have to say too. So I initially parked it out here. And I think I left it like that for like a day. But then I realized this cave in here, it's just big enough to stick my ship in. In fact, it wasn't fully big enough, and I had to make room with the miner, or for the miner with the miner. But yeah, I managed to just tuck it in here. It's an incredibly tight fit. I'm just locked over on the side. But I figured, one, anyone who came to this asteroid, wherever it is, there's the main one. Anyone coming to this asteroid would probably go for the big chunk and ignore this little outer bit anyway. And, like, from here, there's a ship in there, and I'm probably actually seeing, like, in fact, I think I can just make out, I think that's a solar panel right in the, well, now I can't look with the crosshair, but I think there's a solar panel in there. But it's so dark you can't see it. And it wouldn't have been a solar panel anyway. Point being, it was pretty well hidden there from most angles and seemed pretty safe, even if someone happened to come to this asteroid. So, let's go ahead and get everything turned back on. My batteries are still well good, which is good. I'm going to get the O2H2 gen back on. I still have a fair bit in 27k ice, so that's pretty good. So I want that to get chewed on. And we might as well have the refinery on. I don't think there's anything... No, I don't have any ores left. I did... So there's a little bit of iron right here. I did get a little handful of just to mainly have enough plates to actually build my connection here. I do have a gyro. I can't remember if I had that in the last episode. Well, I know I didn't have it when I launched in the last episode. I can't remember if I built it afterwards. On camera. But yeah, so let's get out. I'm just gonna grind this off. Very tight. Oh, I also, you may note that is not the weird janky, that's what I needed the iron for. This was not the weird janky hinge mechanism before, because with the little thrusting maneuvers I had to do to get in this cave, the king shrimp there was waggling like crazy, and it really looked like we were on the verge of it just snapping off. So I figured it would probably be safer. Actually, I may have the drills on it on just so I can back out without worrying as much. This is a very tight fit. It's a very good hiding spot, though. I may make a GPS of this just in case. Though again, the goal is to not stay in the same spot for very long. Okay. Believe I'm clear. Let's get the ship. Oh, right. The gyroscope isn't on. Good thing I didn't need that. Is there anything else not on? Should do a double check. My fuel tank was off. I don't quite know what that means because it seemed to be working, but I guess we're good there. I should probably have oxygen on so I can breathe. Yeah, okay. I think we're good. So I think we'll get out in the sun so we can get some power. Then I kind of want to scout this bigger asteroid, which I think is perfectly hidden. Oh, I forgot how much go I have. I want to scout this bigger asteroid and just see what ores might be here. Because if it's got anything useful on it, I'd like to get it before moving on. There are, if I zoom out, there are a whole bunch of other asteroids around me. So I think today I should be able to bounce around. What I really need is gold. Because I kind of have a source of everything else, even if it's inconvenient. If I can find gold up here, get some of that, then I can actually build the thrusters, I can start building jump drives, I can kind of do everything I need to do up here. Alright. This does have an ore detector on it, right? Yes. I should make sure that ore detector, yep, is at the max range I can get it, which isn't very good. I think this will be the best ship for scouting, even though I'd rather use the large ship and a large grid ore detector. I just don't want to use all the fuel, and this is a lot cheaper to move around. Plus, if I find anything, I'm already in the mining ship. This will also be a good test of if this mining ship is well suited to space use. Because it worked alright in gravity, or lunar gravity, but it wasn't perfect. I should probably actually... There's a big rock. I should actually go towards the sun side and just see if I can spot anything that looks like a deposit. So generally, an asteroid will have, or kind of a, cluster, so these two little chunks. they'll usually have a couple different ores, you know, like one or two in the system. And if you find, like, I know that the little thing had iron, so if I see another resource, I mean, I could look thoroughly, but my general guess, and with experience, there's a good chance this would just be like iron and nickel, or iron and silicon. If I can find a second ore, there's a fairly good likelihood that's all there is. And I'd just find more of it if I search more of the asteroid. I've got to say, I'm not seeing much in the sun. Let's go into this ominous crevice crater thing. This would kind of be a cool asteroid to build a base in. Like, build at the bottom of this sort of crater, and you could even, like, glass in and have a sort of, you know, almost like a biodome. I am not seeing any resources. And the detector's not picking up anything either. I may... Wow, it's dark in here. So, the hand drill actually has a wider range of detection. I think the hand drill can go to like 75 meters, versus the 50 of the small ship detector. I was kind of hoping that this divot, since it's kind of in the middle of the asteroid, would get me deep enough to be able to see anything inside, but not getting much. This side's so dark I can't see anything. Interesting asteroid, but I think... Oh, that was a little rubber banding. I think our time would be better spent shooting out to some of these other, you know, asteroids in visual range and just seeing what we can see there. Because in reality, and the ore detector is only going to do so much. Most of my time is going to be spent visually detecting. If I'm not easily finding stuff to visibly detect, I might as well just move on and hope to get lucky. Ooh. Okay, that's at the alien planet. That strong unknown signal. That's a fair jaunt away. That may be too far even. My plan is, I think, to have 2 jump drives on this thing. And for relatively low mass, that should do pretty good. Let's go to this cluster. But yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to clear 600 or 6,000 kilometers in 15 minutes. I'll probably have to hunt some closer ones. Now, a danger with hopping around to asteroids, there's a good chance I encounter somewhere where someone is or someone's stuff is. And if someone's stuff is here, in fact, that almost looks like something in between the 2 asteroids there. But if someone's stuff is here and it's armed, there's a good chance I'll be getting shot at. Okay, can I see anything? Okay. So I see a patch of something over on that asteroid. Could be worth checking. I'm in a Martian eclipse, I guess you'd call that. Because I think that's Mars, unless it's someone else. I thought I saw something on the side of this asteroid, the big one, but it may have just been rock. Where? So down there is something. Maybe we fly the whole ship over. In fact, let's go ahead. We'll stick this ore detector down here, and then we'll just fly the whole ship around, scout stuff out. We should, now that things are running, I've thought about leaving the O2H2 gen on to process the ice while I'm offline. The issue with that is it uses power, and where I was hidden inside before, the solar panels weren't going to get any sun. So it'd just have been draining the battery, and while I had plenty of power, I could probably have done it even with, you know, the amount of time in between playing. I kinda don't like it. At least until I have a better source of stuff. In theory, I could be running it and the engine. And I think one O2H2 gen can power 2 engines. Does the engine produce enough? I don't know. It's all a bunch of numbers that I don't pay attention to, especially when they break the laws of thermodynamics. Point being, once I have, probably if I can find a source of some ice, like ice in an asteroid, that would be enough. I'd feel confident to leave the engine on, leave the O2H2 gen on, and, you know, leave it for some time. Especially because even though I don't strictly record, you know, every couple days, I do tend to pop on real quick when I have time to check on stuff. You know, just make sure I still have a series to run. Let's go ahead, ore detector to full. That's ice right there. Okay. So we'll gather that up for sure. I'm thinking that might be silver. Yep. Okay. Ice, silver, and magnesium. So I have a fair amount of silver. Enough that I can probably get by. In fact, we can check real quick. Do thrusters take silver? No. Jump drives do. But for one jump drive, it's only 33, so I should be A-okay on silver. But I think I may get a little bit of magnesium just so I can produce some ammunition. Heck, I may even throw a gun somewhere on board just to, you know, just to have it. But that and then the ice. And I may poke around and see if I can't find something else in this local cluster. It's like 28k. That's probably good. Again, I don't intend to need a ton of magnesium. Is there anything else? Doesn't look it. Let's go get that ice and then maybe we do a quick fly around to this asteroid just to see if there's anything else on it. But 3 resources for one little cluster I think is about normal. So my guess is that's all I'll find. Oh. I was mining in third person and I missed my cargo full sign. That should be alright. Ooh, I am very heavy now. There's the ship. Maybe want a second gyroscope stuck on here somewhere. Because it's a little tough to turn when it's fully loaded. And that could be a problem if I need to get out of a tight spot somewhere. Heck, that's a fair amount of ice. That may be good for ice in general for a while. Everything moved around. Magnesium's refining. Quick pass around the dark side of this planet. Use my overrides. So I did set up the overrides on my hotbar. Was that something on this little thing? I'm so easily distracted. Oh look, it's silver, another distraction. So, I set up the overrides on my hotbar, and I'm currently using them basically so that I had a way not to burn the big thruster at full burn. So it lets me just put a little bit on, I can kind of cruise forward, and then, you know, stop with the other thrusters. And it sort of works a bit like a cruise, where I just coast forward if I'm in a situation where I don't want to use no dampeners. I'm going to go ahead and start marking some stuff. So, we'll just do nice and boring. Magnesium, silver is nice. Is here. Let's try this one, because it's dead ahead. Let's boost our way, cruise over there, and see what we can see. Though actually, hold on. Waste of fuel. That's a lot closer, so we should probably go for it. Manually adjust our track. So this is a handy little thing. The, I'll point to it in editing, but the little trackball, so you can see as I burn in a direction, the little target thing in it moves off center. I find that's actually very useful if you're in a situation where you're flying without dampeners. It can help you make those sort of fine corrections that you'll want to make without... Okay, so there's ice in here. Helps you make those fine corrections without so much difficulty, because you can actually, you have a visualization of what you're doing. You know, if you're just flying by feel, it's a little tricky to know exactly when you're going straight forward again. And it can be handy if you need to do a turn and burn situation, because it won't tell you that you're 180 degrees from your current trajectory, but it'll tell you when it's back centered again. So if you just spin yourself around until you're backwards, but it's centered, you're pointing exactly the right way to burn your big thrust to slow yourself down. So, just some useful piloting tips I've picked up. Nothing useful here, so let's go. So that one I sort of first picked, but then I realized there's one right here, right in... I think that's Mars. So let's go to Mars. This asteroid kind of looks like the head of a bear. Or a weird dog. Just fly through this gap and see what we can see. Try to avoid hitting those little chunks. Looks like more iron. More iron. Very close pass for the miner. Yeah, this one may just be iron. Guess that makes sense considering it's Marsward. That's kind of the challenge with trying to find anything in asteroids, especially when you don't have a jump drive. You're just kind of, you know, drifting through space, hoping for stuff. And it's sort of, you know, similar to on planets. The ratio of stuff, you know, iron, I'll have to blur that. Iron is one of the more, you know, common things, silicon, nickel. All that stuff is all over the place. So you kind of get screwed over a lot looking for the more exotic stuff. And it just takes so long to travel between asteroids, poke around each one. Oh, I see something off, like right there. That might just be nickel, or it could just be weird shiny ground. But it almost has a gold tint. Ooh, that's a little closer. Still probably not within sublight range. Yeah, and I think that gold tint was just the ore, just the rock not loading in yet. So far I'm not seeing anything, but that doesn't necessarily mean there's nothing here. Flying around it and still not seeing anything kind of does. I poke at this smaller rock here, but I'm thinking that things aren't looking too promising. That's interesting. Seems like the local economy on this server is in full swing. Someone's trying to trade for fuel. Which, I guess if there's like a, roadside service, that could be kind of handy if I run real low. Granted, I don't know if I have any money either. That is the other option if I can find where the moon's gone. There it is. So, around the far side of the moon, there was that station. I could try and go there. How's my ice? That's not how I tell that. How's my ice coming along? I mean, still doing okay. I could try for that station there and see if I can trade or buy either thruster components, jump drive components maybe, or just the raw gold. Because if I can just purchase that, maybe I find some ways to, make some cash doing stuff for other people, or I think there are like mission boards at the stations. I hope I haven't just been to this asteroid. I don't think so, because I think I went to that squiggly looking one just above the ship. Yeah, maybe I'll start if this asteroid yields no fruit, maybe I'll start moving back towards moon and see if I can't scout out asteroids along the way as I head towards that station. Okay, there's ice here and server lag. Some more ice is good. Let's go poke our heads at this thing and see what's going on over here. That looks like more ice right in the center there. Yep, that's what it's reading as. Ooh, it's dangerous using the big boosters in here. This may just be all ice. Cruise up this way and see what we can see, but I'm seeing a whole lot of it. Which is handy, that is one of the big things I need. Because at least for the moment, ice is fuel. And not seeing any other deposits. Let's check this and... Yeah, more ice. Okay. Well, maybe what I'll do is I'll just chill here. I don't know, maybe parked within a crater so I'm a little more protected. Then I'll mine some ice. Fill up and do the thing where I run the engines. Yeah, this looks like a good hidey hole. And it'll give me some solar power at certain points. Because in reality, I mean, yeah, you can hide yourself and it helps a bit. But if someone actually... Oh, right, big thruster, dangerous. Oh boy. That was ground. Yeah, because of the sort of computer targeting system where it'll highlight your ship with a little circle whenever it is found. There's not much... Oh. Oh, this place is weird. I could hide in this hole. Oh, in fact, hold on. This hole... I'm wondering if this hole is wholly organic. That almost looks like someone drilled through the core of this asteroid. Mysterious. And anyway, I can hide here. I'll run the engine. I'll keep running the O2H2 gen. And then, hopefully, if I throw enough ice in there, that'll keep the whole system ticking over. We'll go ahead and call it an episode. So as I just quickly build my... As I go back up, I should probably just leave this on this time. Build that so we can connect down. Yeah. I mean, next time we'll start making our way back towards the moon, orbiting the moon, and maybe heading towards that station. Hopefully finding some useful stuff along the way. But that at least gives us a destination. So, for now, thank you everybody so much for watching. Feel free to become a member with that member button wherever it is, or, you know, just like and support. Share with your friends, all that jazz. Until next week, bye-bye.